Good. How are you? What's up? Yeah, thought overall it was good. We've watched the tape, some of us on our own, but we haven't watched it as a unit yet. So we'll get into that this afternoon. See the good and where we can improve and go from there. But overall, I thought it was a good day for us.
Sorry about that. You've been practice with Justin a ton, or at least been on the same team with him a ton in practice, but you got some time out there Saturday. How did you feel like the communication went, all that? Because I know it was a little choppy early before he settled down and looked.
Yeah, I only played with him for a few plays, but from what I was in there, he was pretty calm. He handled everything really well, and that was his first time in Soldier Field with the fans and everything. So I feel like he handled the moment really well.
Cody, how much do you guys, like, when you guys are inside, you're trying to insulate yourself from all the offensive, how much are you aware of just the call for Justin Fields and the excitement over him and, people wanting him to be the quarterback now?
Yeah, I mean, the guys are working hard, whether it be Nick, Andy, or Justin. They're all working hard. They're all trying to, earn that spot and continue to help our team get better. So, that's the main objective right now, and that's where we're at. We're just taking it day by day and trying to get better and better.
But I guess my question is, do you feel that outside influence? And not that it affects you, but do you hear it? You know what's going on?
I mean, you definitely hear it. We heard it on Saturday. But our job is to, especially up front, is to protect whoever's behind us. And that's our main objective every day. No matter who's back there, is just to open holes and then protect for the quarterback. So.
Tony, with Trubisky coming back this week, what did you respect about the way he handled things here?
Yeah, that's tough. Mitch did a great job for us. I know he's still got a lot of friends on this team. So it's going to be good to see him. And we're excited to see him.
You guys were tight, obviously, during his time here. What's been your communication with him in this last stretch of football, just checking in and as a friend?
Yeah, obviously training camp's hard to, the days are long, but we do still speak. It sounds like things are going well for him, and, like we said, we're happy for him, over there.
Why do you think he was able to maintain strong support in the locker room, even at times when he struggled?
I think, I mean, it's just like any, friends are friends, and there's obviously a business side of thing too. So we understand that, but that's one of the coolest parts about this business is the relationships that you make and the bonds and the brothers that you continue, the relationships you continue to have, 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the road. Those are just awesome relationships that you build, and those are lifelong friends.
There's a recently signed Jason Peters. I'm interested in what your opinion of him is, and what do you think he can add to the offensive line?
Yeah, I don't really know him personally yet. We'll see when he gets on campus here. But he's played in this league a long time. So having that veteran experience in our room, pick his brain, all that's going to help our room grow. And we're excited to have him.
You guys came into camp talking about the importance of having continuity and cohesion up front. There's been anything but that throughout camp because of injuries and whatnot. What's been the biggest challenge, and how do you make the most of the next 3 weeks because week one's coming fast?
Yeah, it is. Injuries are going to happen. We all know that's part of the game. And you just have to be ready for that next guy to step in. And that's why during training camp there's we get reps with everyone. So I think that helps because we know how hard that is during the season when injuries happen and stuff like that. So I think just, whether it be in team, whether that be an individual, just getting reps and continue to build that continuity no matter first group, second group, or third group. We're all working for that same goal, and we all work together in some way.
What have you learned about Elijah in the time you've been out there together?
Yeah, he competes. He works hard. You know, I like I said, I haven't really watched the whole tape of everyone yet, but from what I saw out there, it looked like he did a good job out there on Saturday. And you know, he comes to work every day. He fights. He works hard. He tries to improve on everything he can, and that's all you can ask from a guy. You know, to come out there and give it 100% every day, and that's what he does.
With Eddie Golden, I'm just wondering from your perspective, what's it like blocking and how does Eddie as a player?
Yeah, Eddie's you know, one of the top nose guards in the league, I think. You know, he's great with his hands. He's powerful. He's, you know, all the traits of a good nose tackle he has. You know, so he definitely helps our defense out along with all those guys. You know, Tonga's a good nose too. You know, so those guys are just, you know, continuing to make us better up front. You know, we got one of the best front sevens in the league. You know, so going against all those guys every week, every day, you know, that's only going to make us better as well.
When it comes to cadence, what are you thinking about that? Like when you go from the veteran to the rookie? I mean, because naturally there's going to be a difference, especially when Justin's taking his first reps out there. So as an offensive lineman, what's going through your head in those?
Yeah, every quarterback's a little bit different. Obviously, you know, the center is mainly the one person that really has to really hone in and really listen for the differences, because, I mean, he's just a split second earlier than we are. You know, but I think Andy's done a good job. You know, Justin's done a good job. Nick's done a good job. They all try and sound the same. You know, they all try and piggyback off of each other, and they've done a really good job with that. You know, and like I said, it'll continue to get better, and we'll continue to grow as an offense and be ready for anything.
With all the talk about quarterbacks, how much of a focus is just improvement in the running game this year? Like, what personally are you trying to attack for the season in the running game?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for us is just, you know, we talk about winning our one-on-one block every day. You know, and collectively, if everybody on the line wins their one-on-one block, we got a pretty good chance of having a successful play, both in the run and in the pass. You know, so that's our biggest thing, is we're just trying to win our one-on-one blocks, and then, you know, we focus on our combination blocks as well, and being in the right spot for our buddy to fill the seam and get movement up front. So, you know, we take a lot of pride in protecting our quarterback and opening holes for our running back. So, you know, we'll continue to improve in that phase as well.
Cody, where have you seen David Montgomery kind of grow as a team leader and a guy who sort of has become a tone setter, I guess, for you guys?
Yeah, Dave's the same guy every day. He comes into work. You know, he's a guy that works tremendously hard. You know, he wants to be the best he can possibly be. You know, so he works hard in the weight room. He works hard. I've seen him really grow studying film. You know, just the amount of film he studies, the way he attacks the film, and then it carries over, you know, onto the field. He's seeing where he can be better there, and then it carries over onto the field. And you've definitely seen him take that next step with his film study, and then it carrying over onto the field to help him, you know, read different holes, you know, in that way. So, you know, he's grown a lot, and we're seeing him grow as a leader in that room too. You know, so that's really cool for Dave. Thanks, guys.
the experience like playing in, obviously preseason, but what was it like playing in your first NFL game? Was it different than your expectations? Were you nervous? Did you feel butterflies?
It was a blessing, really. Surprisingly, I wasn't really nervous. Kind of felt like, this is where I'm supposed to be. But it was a blessing to go out there, get the win. Everybody played really well. I think got some stuff to fix, but ultimately, got the win, so it was good.
That last drive before halftime, when you guys obviously were intent on finally getting the ball moving and getting some points out of it, how did that entire drive feel in terms of just the efficiency and the way you guys were able to get done what you got done there?
It felt good. We practice that every day. 2-minute, and we really harp on being able to put points on the board, especially with 2 minutes left. So it was nothing that we haven't done in practice. Just go out there and execute, and when the plays are called, make plays, and get out of bounds. So.
What stood out to you about Justin on that series and just the ability to be the tone setter on that drive?
Yeah, just his calmness. No rush. He didn't seem nervous or anxious. Just calmness in the huddle, calmness in the pocket. Doing what he needed to do, get the ball out of bounds, get the ball to people who he needs to get it to, and then ultimately get in position to kick a field goal. So.
Coach Nagy this morning said that you're a player that's really caught his attention. How does that make you feel, and what are you trying to show the coaches in the preseason?
Just show them that I'm able to do whatever they need me to do. Whatever you need me to do, I'm gonna help try and do it to my best of my ability. So that's really what I'm just trying to show.
How does it make you feel when you hear the head coach of the Chicago Bears talking about you like that?
It made me feel good. I didn't know that he said that, but makes you feel good. So.
He also said that you haven't made many mistakes and have kind of earned the trust of coaches. What has allowed you to catch on so quickly?
I say the guys in the RB room. Tariq, David, Damian, Ryan, AP, CJ. We all do a really good job of holding each other accountable. So just little things out there at practice, or someone else makes a mistake, learning from that mistake, getting in the playbook, learning my plays, just learning and really studying and taking home to my craft. So.
It seems like Justin looked for you several times during the entire game. How has your relationship with him evolved on the field and off the field?
I definitely think it's evolved a lot just since we came in together, in mini camp. Just being able to know each other and kind of feel how each other plays out there on the field. I know to get in his eyesight when he's scrambling or certain things like that. But just it's building on that, and it's built a lot. So.
Can you appreciate how hard it is to have that poise in your first NFL game? I mean, Justin and you, neither of you played in an NFL game before. Is it hard to kind of go out there and act as cool and calm as you think?
Not really. I don't think so. Just because it's things we do during the week. You see it during the week. You see it during practice. We practice certain situations. Coaches do a great job of putting us in those certain situations. So when it comes to the game, it feels second nature.
Where's your comfort level with the special teams so far? Obviously, you did it a bunch in college, but doing it here, where are you at with it?
I feel very comfortable. Definitely learning a lot still, but a lot of that just comes with game reps, practice reps, and studying film. But I feel real comfortable with it.
What are some of the things that Taves has been kind of working with you on specifically, especially with the kickoff return?
Everything. He has me in a bunch of different spots. He wants me to learn all parts of every special team, so I'm able to go wherever he needs me to go.
What have you learned about who David Montgomery is since you've been here?
As much as he is as a great running back on the field, an even better person off the field, really just, takes that RB room as his own and, holds us to a high standard. So everybody's trying to, push each other, play with energy, play with juice, and, come out there and run hard. But he definitely holds us to a high standard and pushes us a lot.
How do you describe his intensity?
Oh, he real intense. Especially in practice, he always making really good cuts, finishing all his runs. So, you see that, you're like, all right, I want to do the same thing. So just seeing how he leads by example sets the example and sets the tone for the running backs.
Clelin, you're about halfway through camp now. I'm curious, at the end of the day, when you're with the rookies and the other younger players, what kind of conversations do you guys have about how it's going? Do you play the game, trying to guess who's going to make it, who's not? How does that go for you guys?
No one really tries to guess who's going to make it, who's not. We try to go out there. We talk about practice, how it went, what we do, what we can do to get better. But really just go out there and leave it all. Try and get some good film out there and make these coaches not cut you is really what we try to do.
How much did the experience yesterday, being collectively together at the Sox game, help you guys talk things out?
Yeah, that was a fun game. Really just bonding, getting to hang out, getting to relax and talk about the game, and that was a lot of our first NFL game. So just again able to get out of this area and this setting and go somewhere else and relax and talk about things. It was fun.
Did you like going on the field and?
Oh yeah. That was my first time on a baseball field.
Are you officially a Sox fan now, or are you a Cubs fan?
I can't say that.
Even in that situation, Fields is kind of the star of the show, throwing out the first pitch and stuff like that. Is he just, it just seems like wherever he is he kind of the leader of that rookie pack, even regardless of his ability?
I mean, yeah, he's quarterback. So he kind of just takes that on his own, but, he does a great job of just taking all that in and being that guy. So.
Thank you.
Sorry. Okay.
Curious about your impressions of the drive right before halftime. Obviously, you guys trying to get something going, finally got something going, and what you guys were able to squeeze out of that 45 seconds.
Yeah, it was nice. Anytime you have the opportunity to work a 2-minute drive in a preseason game, it's good for the whole group. Just getting used to the play call, the tempo. I mean, a lot of games. I think last year, the first week, I think it was 50% of the games came down to one score. So anytime you get a chance to work a high-pressure situation like that in a preseason game is important.
What did you sense out of Justin during that march?
Just calm, cool, collected. Did a great job leading us down the field and marched our way down there for a field goal. Obviously, you want to score a touchdown in those situations, but to get points on the board before half was big.
A lot of people talked about how Justin was calm on Saturday, even on the first possession, just when he runs out there. What were your interactions with him, and did he seem nervous or not? And is it unusual if he wasn't?
I don't know. It's like he was just ready to play football. At the end of the day, a lot of guys have played football for a long time, and he's played at a high level for a long time. So I think you can feel that he understands his own expectations that he has for himself, and that's important. That's huge. To have that confidence in his own abilities and his understanding of our offense.
It wasn't that long ago that you were playing your first NFL exhibition game, and you didn't have a stadium full of people wearing your number. Do you imagine that pressure could be bad if you let it get to you?
I don't know. I mean, I could imagine it could be the coolest thing in the world, or like you said, it could be bad. But this is a great sport. In a city like this, when you're successful and you have those expectations, it's awesome. I would tell them relish every moment of it. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity for anybody who gets a chance to play in the NFL. But to see a bunch of number ones in the stands is awesome. Embrace it. This is all part of the journey.
Sam, when you're on the field and in the heat of battle, to what extent can you feel the energy that a guy like Justin Fields brings to a whole stadium when he's playing like he is like that?
Oh, it's awesome. It's infectious. I've never had the opportunity to play in front of fans, so to have the stadium like it was, Bears fans are Bears fans. It's incredible. So the crowd roar when he was able to come on the field for the first time, it was cool. It's a moment I'll definitely remember.
Any
Is it overstating it? I mean, you're obviously just a rookie, but, you know, the classic quarterback, elite quarterback like he's supposed to be, makes other guys play better. Can you see how a guy like him can make you play better just by being who he is and the excitement he creates in the stadium?
I mean, absolutely. Great teammates, football is the ultimate team sport. Great teammates, no matter what position they play, are going to elevate the guys around them and make them look way better than they are. When you think about all the Super Bowl teams and all the great teams that you have throughout the history of the NFL, there's players that they have in that locker room that take players and elevate their game, and they elevate everybody around them, and that's really infectious, And it's really the accountability that they have for their own craft, like that is what really drives it. Not as much as the excitement, but the accountability they have to themselves. That's really contagious, and that makes everybody raise their own standard that they have for themselves.
Vocal thing, right? I mean, it's the.
I think it really is a presence. Like you understand that there's different guys that go about their jobs in different ways. I don't really think it has to be a vocal thing, and that's the unique part. It's just seeing somebody who's consistent on a day-to-day basis.
Obviously, all of you guys are big, strong guys, but usually on the O-line, there's that one guy who kind of brings that toughness, that nastiness. Who's that guy for you guys?
I think we're still searching for that right now as a unit. I think right now as a unit, we're all trying to be that guy. Like that's the ideal situation where we're all that guy. And I think you saw glimpses of it this weekend. Like everybody being around the ball, like everybody finishing on their man. Like we all want to be that guy. We don't want to pick out one guy. Like if that's the standard, then everybody should be at that standard. Like that's the ideal goal for our offensive line. We don't want to, that's our bell cow. We want to lean on this guy. No, everybody be that guy. Everybody be the guy that down in, down out, I'm going to be able to depend on you, know where you're going to be at. I know you're going to be finishing your man, blocking to the whistle. I know you're going to be over there picking up our ball carriers, our running backs, and protecting our quarterbacks with your life. You know what I mean?
How old were you when you first knew who Jason Peters was?
It's funny. So my younger brother grew up a Philadelphia Eagles fan. So one year my parents, they drove us up to Philadelphia's camp. And I can't even remember what the year was, but I was able to see him practice. I think I was probably in 6th grade maybe, and I was able to see him practice. That was awesome. I mean, and just that Eagles team at the time was, they're a perennial playoff team. I grew up watching Jason Peters a lot, and then they would come down to Baltimore for a preseason game every year. Sometimes he wasn't dressed, so.
What do you think you're going to glean from him being with you guys?
A Hall of Fame talent. As a young offensive lineman, the opportunity to learn from greats is something I'll try to take in everything I can from him and just learn. I mean, I think he's 39 years old. Like he's probably taken 1 million pass sets in his career. Like to understand the knowledge that he has for the game, the knowledge he has for training, and the preparation it takes to play that long at that high of a level. I'll probably be in his back pocket. I'll probably be asking him more questions than he wants me to ask. But I just want to learn from him and understand, what do you do that sets you apart from everybody else?
Mentioned Bears fans. I was wondering, having your first interaction with him, what is your opinion of them? How have you been able to see the loyalty, the ferocity? What is your opinion of them so far?
I think it's a passionate city. They take pride in what they do, and I think as our job as football players to play for one of the most historic franchises in the NFL, we got to take pride in what we put on the field. We got to match that intensity, you know what I mean, and go above and beyond it. But it was awesome, and I wasn't dressed, but I remember our first Thursday night game in 2019. Just the national anthem. I was like, wow, like this is different. Like everybody tells you, it's different. Like I had experienced, college stadiums playing on the big stage. It was different. And I was like, this isn't 110,000 fans, but it's loud in here. So it's awesome. They're some of the best fans in the world.
And you guys haven't had a ton of stability on the line during camp for a bunch of reasons, but how much has that put on you to try to be a stabilizing force and these last 2 or 3 weeks of just trying to be a stabilizer for a line that's been anything but?
Yeah, no matter who we put out there, that's kind of what I was alluding to earlier. Like, we got to have a standard of play that we have set for us. Like, are we covering to the football? Are we picking the backs up? So no matter who goes in there, it's just a next man up mentality. There should be no drop off in play. And building that standard, that comes with reps, and that comes over time. It's not something that, just happens in one day. You got to build the conditioning. You got to build the mental fortitude, the understanding the 2-minute situation. What are your assignments? What are your blocking calls? Like, who am I miking? Like, we need to all be seeing things through one set of eyes. And if we can do that, no matter who's on the field, then, that cohesiveness as a unit, that builds. And that's critical for our offense line. It's critical for our offense to succeed.
One guy who's shown the toughness you're looking for in the line, not alignment, but it's Komet, who at least twice now has been kind of that third guy in, standing up for his teammates kind of guy. Is there, for lack of a better word, a more badass in him than we previously knew? Because he seems to be, really eager to kind of stand up for people and
Absolutely. Having a locker room full of guys who are going to back each other up and stand up for each other that's what, I've been a part of a lot of teams. This is my second year being on an NFL team, so I'm sure, in your line of work, it's the same. If you have people who are going to back each other up and you're never worried. Like, you're at the bottom of a pile. Your guys are pulling people off. Like, that's what you want. Like, that builds the trust. I know where you're going to be. Like, that for a quarterback, I'm putting the ball in this spot because I know my receiver is going to be there. For me, that's knowing, I'm going to slide this way. Cody knows he can go help the tackle because I'm coming right now. Like, it's not a second thought. And if you can eliminate those second thoughts, then that creates the ability to play fast.
And that first drive after halftime in the third quarter, I know you were on the sideline, but how dialed in were you to that possession, and what was your vantage point on on some of the things that went on in there?
Very dialed in. I've been there where I was playing entire preseason games where I was getting in at halftime. So, for a lot of guys, this is, their opportunity to shine and their moment to play great. So whatever I can do, I'm looking at defenses, like trying to study people's stances, linebacker alignments to say, here's a tip, go from there. But, I thought the guys did a great job. Adam is in his 6th year in the NFL, so he has a knowledge of the game and understanding of the game to help lead those younger guys.
Was there a play of Justin's Saturday that you took particular note of?
Not really. To understand that we're still in preseason, there's still things we're going through and working through. It's not one play. This is. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. And, this season is even longer than previous ones. So it's just stacking the good days. You know what I mean? You got to come out there and get better every day.
It was fun, though, wasn't it?
Oh, it was awesome. It was awesome. The crowd was great. The energy was great. Anytime you win it's awesome. People say, it's just preseason. No, winning is the best thing.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Sam.